Hey, what's going on, e-bike family? Today we have the KBO Flip. This is a smaller size electric bike that not only folds on the handlebar but also folds here to become basically half its size. So from here to here, the bike just folds, and that is the space that it's going to take. So super easy to pop this on your trunk. It fits even in a sedan, an SUV super easily, and just take it wherever you need to go. Makes it very versatile for commuting, for a little bit of off-roading. Comes with some large fat tires, and we're going to talk about all of that here in the video, including a removable battery, a rear rack, a really nice electric bike, and of course we have worked with KBO in the past reviewing two of their electric bike, including the Breeze and the Ranger. Those are larger electric bike with fat tires. So we're super excited to bring this out to you all. We are going to show you how to do the unboxing, do a detailed specification walkthrough where we tell you about the motor, the battery, everything, and then we'll end our video with our review of what we think about this electric bike. This is probably the smallest box I have seen on any other e-bikes that we have reviewed here, but because this is a folding electric bike, it makes sense. Everything is already set up, the front wheel, the rear rack. I don't think I have to do much to set this up. So let me take this out and show you guys what it looks like. So this bike is pretty much all set to go. As I said earlier, everything is installed. We just have to unflip it, and then there is the pedals we have to install and the seat, and that's it. And this is going to be the easiest e-bike setup ever, because after removing the foam, I just had to make this stand up, the stem here, and then I also did the middle part here, the frame, and then that's it. The frame clicks. I'll show you all of that here in just a second, but that's it. Now I'm going to remove this top two screws here, remove this plate, then I'm gonna put the handlebar here and then secure the handlebar, and we're pretty much done. The handlebar fully installed. Now we just have the pedals left, and those pedals are marked left and right, and you literally just have to thread those in. Now let's do a complete specification walkthrough of the KBO Flip electric bike. This is not a typical KBO e-bike that we see in the market. Usually KBO makes large high quality e-bikes like the KBO Ranger cargo electric bike we recently reviewed on the channel, as well as the KBO Breeze that we had reviewed last year. Now I really like this design because it is a smaller design. So this is versatile for all ages. At the same time, larger adults can ride this, as well as smaller adults. This is a folding design. If you look at it here in the frame, the handlebar folds on the stem right there, as well as the frame folds in halves to become half its size, and we'll show you here in just a second how to do all the folding and everything and how to set this up. It also uses a removable battery in the back. This is a 36 volt 15.6 amp hour lithium ion battery, and they say that you can get over 30 miles with just throttle and over 50 miles with pedal assist. We're going to be doing some testing here, and we'll show you later down the video that what type of range we got. I also really like that they included a fully functional rear rack here. This is a heavy-duty rear rack with multiple point of support. It's not one of those flimsy rack that just goes on the seat post, but this is actually, it has multiple point of support, and it should have a higher LB limit than the typical one that we see on the market. Another thing I really like about this electric bike is they are using a front fork suspension. So if you look at it here, this is a pretty great option for a sub $1,000 electric bike. We don't typically see that on this e-bike. We have seen similar electric bikes where they had the folding mechanisms here in the middle, but we have never seen one with a front suspension like that. I do wish that it came with the rear suspension as well, like a suspension seat post, but this does not have it. But the structural component is very sound. Now, another major component of this are the tires. These are 20-inch by 3-inch large fat tires, and if you look at it here, these are not your full 4-inch fat tires, but at 3-inch they provide you a lot of shock absorption. The treads are really nice, so you should be able to take this a little bit of off-roading, nothing crazy, but you can go between grass and paved surface super easily with this electric bike. The 500 watt sustained power motor, and we're going to do some testing to see if that is really true. We're going to do some hill climbing, and we'll let you know what type of speed we held at, but that is a 500 watt motor. They are using disc brakes on both front and rear. These are not hydraulic brakes, just the regular disc brake. And then this is also a 7-speed Shimano system. So they are using the Tourney system from Shimano, and you can see that on the other side, that is a 7-speed system. One thing that stood out to me are these gigantic headlights. If you look at it here, these are magnified headlights, but these are super big headlight. And to even make you more visible at night, they are including an integrated tail light. So this is a brake light as well as a tail light for the nighttime. So good job KBO including that, because these days the manufacturers just send you a little reflector that goes in the back, but they were not cheap on this, and they actually send you the integrated tail light here. This is what the cockpit looks like. It's a very simple cockpit. This reminds me of a cockpit designed for a typical electric bike in this class, where towards the right you got a very comfortable handlebar grips, then you got a half twist throttle here, 7-speed Shimano system, a LCD screen that we're going to talk about all the functionality here in just a second, and again the brake levers, and then the handlebar grips. So that is everything that you have here. The seat design is a pretty unique design, and we'll showcase this when we talk about the battery removal process. But if you look at it here, this actually flips, and then you can do that to remove the battery. But this is a pretty unique seat design and a very, very comfortable saddle even for longer rides. Now let me demonstrate some of the folding mechanisms of this electric bike. As I said in the beginning, the handlebar stem actually folds. So all you have to do is push this a little bit out and then pull this. That allows you to just fold the handlebar here. This is a pretty standard process for other electric bikes we have reviewed, like the Jetson Bolt Pro, where the handlebar folds. Where things get interesting is the frame right here. So if we were to flip this, flip the flip this way, now there is a little mechanism here that I can pull, and then while holding that down, if I remove this clip here, this allows me to fold this bike so completely in half. So then this becomes half the size here. So super easy to transport. Look at that. It's a small electric bike now that it is half of the original size here. So it makes it super easy to take this anywhere you need to go. Now, just as easily, you can also unfold it from this folded state here. You just have to bring this stem and make it straight. And then you can push this clamp. You can pull this handlebar, push this clamp, and you're done. Now, another unique design of this electric bike is the removable battery here. In the typical process where we have seen for other electric bike, you have to completely remove this seat, remove it from here, and then you are able to remove this battery. But here they made this design where you just push this lever here that allows you to fold the seat like this. Then you just turn this towards the release position, and then you're able to lift this battery. So super easily you're able to lift this battery, and then you can put this battery back in. You can just align it here, drop this battery. You can do off or on position. Then you just drop this. And that's how easy it is to operate that battery. Take it inside for charging. You can also plug it directly here. There's a charge port on the back, or you can take just the battery and then charge it. Now let's talk about the performance testing. The first testing we did was to test for the top speed. We were able to achieve the 20 miles per hour speed in multiple locations, and sometimes even a tad higher to 22 miles per hour. This makes the KBO Flip Class 2 e-bike and much better than the typical 15.5 miles per hour speed we see on similar e-bikes in this price range. Alright, so the next testing we are going to do is, this is a 15% grade over here. This is where we test all of our electric bikes, and then we're going to see where the speed lands here. We're not going to pedal at all. We're going to reach that bottom of the hill, and then we're just going to pull throttle and then see where the throttle takes us. Typically for a 500 watt motor, we see at least 10 miles per hour, but in an average 12 to 16 miles per hour. So let's see what we see with this one, if it performs better or worse than the other electric bikes. So what we're going to do is pedal assist is in the highest level. We're not going to pedal. We're just going to pull the throttle now. And let's see, the bike is starting slow, but it's ramping up. Okay, so we're getting about 10 miles per hour, 9. We're really getting to the top of the hill here. I am not going to pedal at all. Let's see what this does. So 8 miles per hour, 9. Okay, so for a 500 watt motor, I was expecting this to kind of go towards more of a 13 to 14 miles per hour speed with just the throttle, but Looks like this is a little disappointing for a 500 watt motor. This cannot go that much. I mean, we stayed at 8 to 9 miles per hour, which is average on a more towards that $500 to $700 electric bike. You know, this is a sub $1,000 e-bike, so I get it. But I think the biggest point for this one is that this is a 36 volt battery. That's probably why we didn't see those high speeds on a 15% grade. We're going to get to a 12% grade here, and then let's see what we get. So that hill that you're seeing right here. So we're gonna pull the throttle. Okay, we're kind of holding at 12, 11, 10. Yeah, 10, 11 miles per hour. Typically here we would see towards that 15 to 16 miles per hour with a 500 watt motor. So this motor, because it is a 36 volt battery, not a 48 volt battery, I think it is struggling a little bit. But average, normal terrain, it does a great job. Uphill, it is going to struggle a little bit. I'm going to show you a quick acceleration test. What we're going to do is put this in pedal assist 3, and then we're just going to pull the throttle to give you an idea of what the acceleration looks like here. This is a pretty plain surface, so this should be pretty accurate of what the acceleration looks like. So it's not an instant acceleration. It doesn't just go from 0 to whatever 20 miles per hour, but once it gets going, it gets going. So it's not the fastest bike we have had in terms of acceleration, but it does do a pretty good job once it gets going. Here is another acceleration test. We're just going to pull the throttle here. As you see, it's not instant, but pretty average in terms of a 500 watt motor. Now we're going to do some brake testing. So let's put this bike on some speed, and on that stop sign, we're going to try to slam the brakes. Did a pretty good job. Not the best brakes that we have seen around, but did a decent job. Let's try that again. Okay. It's not that bad. The brakes are pretty great actually. For being a disc brakes, these are not hydraulic disc brake, just mechanical disc brakes. Did a pretty good job. Next, we tested the range, and we got 26 miles on a full charge, but this was done mostly with the throttle, and we were going the full 20 miles per hour speed on most of the route. Well, this is not the full advertised range, but it is still very impressive for a 15.6 amp hour battery. After thoroughly testing the KBO Flip, here's my verdict. Let's start with my likes. I like the design where it is not only folds in the handlebar, but also becomes half its size by folding in the middle frame, which makes this e-bike very portable. I like the removable battery design, and it allows me to remove the battery for charging rather than plugging it into the bike. The large battery also provides an impressive range. The large fat tires make this e-bike more versatile, and you can go between different surfaces with an ease thanks to its front fork suspension. One feedback for KBO is the average motor performance. It felt a little sluggish going through even a 12% grade. I think this is mainly due to the battery being 36 volt instead of a typical 48 volt. I recommend KBO change the battery to a 48 volt system in the future design. What do you think about this electric bike? Would you get it? Does this fit your commuting needs? Please let me know in the comment section below. If you have any questions about KBO's bikes, any other e-bikes, anything that we have covered in the channel, please also let me know in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you found this video helpful and enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and come back again for another e-bike review.